Hi, Taurus. Welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your mid-September 2025 love reading. Thank you to those of you who have liked, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, source will be in front of us. It's what I call the bridging the gap spread. The way it works is we'll look at the past, present, future energies between you and the main love interest. Then we'll pull some oracle cards to help with the bridging the gap dynamic. As far as the decks being used, on the left side we have the Lover's Path Tarot, on the right side we have the Romantic Tarot. And also keep in mind it's a general reading, so I'm going to be referring to the cards on the left as your energy and the cards on the right as the other person's. If you feel like that's the way around in your situation, then definitely trust that. Alright, so with all that out of the way, we'll get started. Past energy on your side, we have the Seven of Arrows. So this is Aquarius energy here. And what I'm getting with this is, to me, it seems like you're showing up in a relationship, but it seems like there's something that's really bothering you, but you're just not communicating it to this person. So if we look at the artwork, we see the two arrows there. So if we think of them as representing the relationship, right, the presence of the two of you, and then those five arrows that you're holding on to is maybe some old wounds that you're still carrying with you, or again, just maybe even feeling a little bit overburdened, but just not necessarily expressing it within the connection. I mean, if we look at the facial expression there, the person clearly doesn't look very happy, right? So it seems like there's something you're holding back. Maybe you're just feeling overwhelmed, but it looks like you're just not communicating whatever the issue is to this person at this time, or at least you weren't in the past. Past energy on their side, we have the Six of Wands. So this is Leo energy here. Usually points to a celebratory type of energy. And then with the artwork in this deck, we see some birds loose out over there, and then we see the one in the cage. So to me, the birds represent communication in this regard. So for some of you, maybe that's the issue, right? Where maybe this person's happy to know where you stand within the connection, but you may not know where they stand because maybe they keep their feelings to themselves, right? So they might be present with you in the connection, but they're not necessarily expressing their deeper feelings. It really could just be that both of you are kind of on that level, right? Where there's both of you are showing up in a connection on the one hand, but then you're not really revealing your deeper selves to each other either. Present energy on your side, we have the Five of Staves. So this is Leo energy here as well. And if we look at the artwork, we see the two masculine figures look like they're almost smiling, whereas the feminine looks very serious, right? So it could just be one of those things where, again, I feel like there's a disconnect with deeper communication in this connection. So let's say if you try to playfully get something out of them, right, it might backfire where they might take it very seriously. They might be very irritable, or quite frankly, it could be them approaching you in that way. And you're the one who could react in a very irritable way because, like we said, it looks like there's something you could be holding back regarding your feelings in this connection. But either way, it looks like there's a disconnect there. Present energy on their side, we have the Page of Swords. So yeah, so this definitely makes it at least a little bit more likely that it could be this person who's the one who might say something, trying to be light and playful, but then it just might backfire because, again, like we said, if you're feeling overwhelmed and there's something that's bothering you but you're not expressing it, and then someone takes a light and playful approach towards something, it could backfire, right? So that could be what's at play there. All right, future energy on your side, we have Awakening. So this is the equivalent of the sun in traditional tarot, and if we look at the artwork, looks like there's an angelic figure reaching out to feminine energy there. We also see the name Cupid at the top as well. So yeah, I feel like this is saying that maybe for some of you, will actually wake up to this connection and appreciating it more. So yeah, so for some of you, maybe this is just a rough stretch you guys are going through. So for example, this thing here in the past, maybe you're just feeling overwhelmed, maybe in your career, let's say, right? So it just has you on edge and irritable, and then that could cause things to bubble up within the connection, things along those lines there. So for some of you, this could just be saying that, yeah, you might actually reawaken to what drew you toward this person to begin with, and then you might feel like you're able to renew the connection to an extent. All right, and future energy on their side, we have the Ace of Pentacles. So yeah, so it looks like both of you in the future will just be ready to hit the reset button. So like I said, it looks like the two of you just might not be connecting very well on a deeper level at this time. And like we said, there's plenty of reasons why that could be the case, but looks like in the future there is the opportunity to clear that up and get a clean slate between the two of you. All right, and bottom of the deck on your side, we have the Nine of Coins. So Virgo energy here. It's a very independent type of energy. So yeah, so for some of you, maybe you're just, like I said, you're just not really, for whatever reason, wanting to give a lot to this connection at this time. Like we said, maybe you're just overwhelmed in other areas of life, whatever the case may be. But I feel like this is just saying that, for the time being, you just don't really see much benefit to the connection at this time, but it looks like that can change down the line. Right, and bottom of the deck on their side, we have the Page of Pentacles. So yeah, so maybe for some of you, again, like I said, it could just be one of those things where maybe this person, it's a little bit harder for you to take them seriously or to really know where they're coming from, right? So that could have been where the disconnect started. But with that Ace of Pentacles in the future, looks like, yeah, eventually they will come forward and offer something more concrete, something more reliable, and then that could be what actually softens your position toward the connection in the future. But we'll see what the Oracle cards add to the mix. First, we'll see what we get from Messages Love Oracle card deck. I'm just going to give this a few shuffles first. Alright, and now what we'll do is we'll cut the deck and pull a card. Take this here. Next, I'll do the same thing with the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. So, just going to give this a few shuffles now. Almost had a jumper there. Okay, so we'll take this card here and we'll see what we got from the Messages of Love first. Alright, we have True Love. It says this love is emotional, physical, and unconditional. So yeah, so maybe that explains why, like we said, it looks like in the future things can clear up for you guys. So yeah, I mean, we're technically still in the middle of eclipse season, so maybe you guys are just feeling on edge right now, overwhelmed, right? You name it. But yeah, so at least this gives me some indication that what you're going through now, where it seems like there's a disconnect between the two of you, could be more of a temporary thing. All right, and then ironically, from the Wisdom Oracle, we have Time to Go. So this is actually going to give a different perspective that for some of you, maybe you will ultimately decide that you do need to go. And in a way, maybe I could see where this could be, where the two messages can technically work together, which is to say that, yeah, maybe you guys just need your space right now, right, with that Nine of Coins energy, and then that could be what the awakening's pointing to there, right, where maybe some time apart from each other can actually reawaken a connection and make you feel a certain level of appreciation for each other. But we'll see what it says in the book. All right, the relationship message says it's over, or at the very least, the form this relationship has taken is no longer of service to you or the other person. This is a time of letting go, of knowing that the journey has come to its conclusion. That doesn't mean anything is lost. Although this card could speak to a breakup, drifting apart, or the end of a soul contract, it is more about release than destruction. Remember the saying, if you love something, let it go. If it comes back, it's yours. If not, it never was. Endings are always a sign of new beginnings. If you want something deeper, walk away. So interesting there, right? Especially that last sentence where it says, if you want something deeper, walk away. Because if you remember in the past, I was saying that for some of you, maybe that was the issue where you might have felt like this person knew where you stood, but you didn't necessarily know where they stood, what they were feeling, right? And then, like I said, if that's what you're feeling, and then they come forward in a light, playful manner, right, trying to tease you or whatever the case may be, and you're already a little bit bothered by not knowing where you stand with them, that could obviously blow things out of proportion. And then that could be what ultimately happens for some of you, where maybe that time apart that you guys have is actually going to help you regain appreciation for each other. And then it might also, like we said, with that Ace of Pentacles in the future, cause that person to come forward and offer something more substantial in the outcome. So interesting reading there. Hopefully that resonates with you guys. We'll wrap up there, and I'll see you all next month. All right.